comes to the review of literature and understanding the gaps in the study, we have actually identified several authors who have contributed in the domain of women entrepreneurship and the sustainable practices, especially in the domain of SMEs. So my first author which I want to quote here, that particular author is Fernandez, and he wrote his article in year 2021, and the title of the author of this article is Women Sustainable Entrepreneurship. They have contributed about this thing that women has always been a very prominent member when it comes to adding into the three pillars of the economy, that is environment, equity, and economy. Maria also contributed, also mentioned this thing that there is a direct and positive impact in the employment generation for the people in and around the businesses that are being run by the women. So Munis 2018, they mentioned about this thing, that sustainable entrepreneurship research, taking stock and looking ahead. They mentioned about this thing that when it comes to attaining the methodology wherein they empower economic, environmental, and social activities of the sustainable development, they mentioned their study about this. So when it comes to the objectives of the study, there were certain research questions that were framed. First is to gaze at the year-wise distribution of publications and the nature of documents in the database of ProQuest and Scopus during the recent decade. My second question was framed as in to identify the journals which are largely contributing and acknowledging the work published in the chosen area of study. The third research question was to explore the key areas of study that is prevailing among various research documents and the geographical area where women entrepreneurship considered under study, along with bibliographic coupling of documents and countries. For this, a research methodology was adopted, which is basically in the form of Prisma on the screen. Initially, a database of 518 papers were selected, and the database was retrieved from the perspectives or the platforms of ProQuest and Scopus. Several strings were identified and then applied.
Sorry to interrupt you in between, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, your slides are not moving. Are you on the screen? It's showing that you are on third slide. So
research methodology.
No, ma'am. Actually, it's a review of literature and research.
No, I am at third. And just a minute.
And also, ma'am, it's not on full screen. Like, it's not on the presentation mode yet. So.
No, it is. It is.
Ma'am, it's not. I guess there's
okay.
some.
Can you please give me?
I request you to please unshare and share again.
Sure, I'll do that. Please.
Yes.
Thank you. Are the slides visible now?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Can you make it full screen, ma'am?
It is from my hand.
Okay. No issue, ma'am. Just click on your slide. Single click on your slide and try to move your slide.
Is it moving now?
No, ma'am. I think you are on your first.
I would request each one of you, if I can come back again after 2-3 minutes. I will check my connection because there is some kind of noise which is again disturbing. Probably there is some kind of network error somewhere. If you allow me to represent within 5 minutes, I will just check where the technical glitch is. This is a humble request if you guys can provide me a little time, because this way I'm not able to concentrate, I'm not able to present. It's my humble request if you can please, the people on the chair. Is it possible?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, you can.
I will rejoin the link and I'll find out where the technical glitch is coming.
For sure, ma'am. Yes, you can.
I'm so sorry for that.
No problem. So I would like to invite, till ma'am is reconnecting, I would like to invite Mr. Kaushal Dikshit. Yes, please. He'll be presenting the paper on behalf of Shweta Sachdeva and Harshita Jha. Please.
The Shankar Hazarika. Okay.
A very good afternoon, everyone. I'll be presenting on circular economy and sustainable development on behalf of Dr. Shweta Sachdeva. She's an assistant professor at School of Management and Liberal Studies from North Cap University. Starting up with the background, there is a pressing need for the transition to more sustainable socio-technical systems as Earth's life support system is in danger due to three major issues. Starting up with the environmental problems, the first one will be the biodiversity loss, water and air pollution, resource depletion, etc. Coming on to the second issue, which is social expectation. Coming on to this, high employment issue, poor working condition and poverty trap is a major issue that our economy is currently facing. And coming on to the major economic challenges would be deregulated marketed financial risk and economic instabilities. So let's start up with defining sustainable development. Sustainable. The word sustainability is originated from the French verb soutenir, which basically means to hold or support. Development that meets the demand of present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable development is not a fixed state of harmony, but rather a process of change in which exploitation of resources, the direct direction of investment, the orientation of technological development and institutional change are made consistent with future as meeting with the present needs. So let's define the circular economy. Circular economy is economic concept which basically defines to keep resources withdrawn and coming from the environment in the economic circuit, therefore extending their life cycle and avoiding their return in the form of waste. Please refer to this image that has been shown in the slide. So coming on to the framework of 9R, I guess this picture is not visible yet. So, like the framework of 9R basically defines 9 Rs which are responsible for resource depletion and how we can basically minimize the resource depletion and keep it on coming in the economic circuit and extend the life cycle of these resources so we can use the resources for longer and sustainable development needs can be met. So, those 9 Rs include refuse, reuse, reduce, repair, remanufacture, refurbish, repurpose, recycle, and recover. So yeah, this was it is a useful application of material, and the major application would be to extend the life cycle of the product and smarter use of the product in totality. Starting with the interlinkages between circular economy and sustainable development. There are four interlinkages, how people perceive and basically understand the linkages. The first one would be circular economy as a tool for sustainable development. We are considering this as a better tool And the second one would be circular economy is condition for sustainable development. We are considering this as a condition. Circular economy is better than sustainable development. Circular economy and sustainable development are interdependent. The most will agree with everyone would be agreeing with me. They are interdependent with each other, and we can say that circular economy is a very important tool for sustainable development. Coming on to the conclusion, how it become conclude with this would be the circular economy can contribute emphatically to the majority of sustainable development goals, but the path of sustainable development and circular economy are still diverging. Furthermore, circular economy is defined as regenerative system in which resource input and waste as well as emissions are minimized, and closing and reducing energy loop. This can be accomplished through repair, reuse, refurbish, and recycle while moving towards sustainable development. While sustainable development in India prioritizes people over economic prosperity, the circular economy remains focused on technological solution and basically moving forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, does anyone have any question? So, does anyone have questions or questions from the chair? Okay.
Ask ma'am to join. So, Miss Payal Basi, have you joined? Miss Payal Basi, are you there?
Yes, I am. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Please
Just,
come on.
yeah.
Yeah, all right. Ma'am, please, you need to start from where you left, so you can continue from there.
Okay, fine. Just let me know once my slides are visible.
Sure.
I'm sharing my PPTs.
You can start from research methodology, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Is it visible now?
No, ma'am, it's not. Or what I can do is, ma'am, I can share your PPT instead, and you can ask me to change. So
Yes, yes.
yeah, okay. I'll be sharing a PPT. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So, ma'am, is the PPT visible to you?
No, not yet. I think ma'am is having some network issue.
Okay, so ma'am is not there, sir. Is it so?
I can see ma'am picture is stuck.
Hi, Weber. This is Dr. Chino, one of the co-authors of presentation which is going on. Actually, Payal ma'am is facing some technical issue.
Okay, ma'am.
And she's trying to join. Just give me a minute to let her join again.
All right, ma'am. All right.
And sorry for that technical glitch. I'm so sorry.
Or ma'am, if she's facing some serious technical issue, we can ask one of the participants to present first, and then.
Yes, Vaibhav, please, we can proceed with that.
Okay, all right, all right. All right. Yes. Udipta Shankar Hazaria, please, please, please. Uh, all right. So you can move forward with the presentation. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone present here. My name is Udipta Shankar Hazarika, and my guide's name is Sujata Khandai ma'am, Dr. Sujata Khandai ma'am. And the title of my paper is Antecedents of Equity of a Sustainable Brand Leading to Purchase Intention. And it is in respect to a study of Assam silk. I would like to mention it's a working paper. So I have not completed at the moment. I'm in the phase of collecting the questionnaires. This is a working paper that attempts to explore the various pillars of brand equity which lead to building strength and goodwill for a sustainable brand, further resulting in forming up of purchase intentions. The paper incorporates 3 of the 5 elements of brand equity proposed by Aker: perceived brand quality, brand awareness, brand loyalty. Brand equity is being studied from a sustainable point of view, keeping in mind the industry being investigated in the study. The purpose of the proposed study also tries to explore Assam's craftsmanship in the silk industry. The products from these businesses are portrayed as not just being environment friendly but also sustainable. The study tries to understand customers' perspective towards these brands, what pushes them to purchase the brands. Over here, in the definition of brand loyalty, I would like to mention brand loyalty is the best character for a company which can attain their customers and which can retain their customers with them. As well, like for brand awareness, it's a way they spread their name across the geographically, and also how quickly can a person remember the company or the brand. And for perceived brand quality is a character through which a customer of the brand is satisfied with the product, and for how long the company can keep the customer satisfied. Yes, ma'am. So initially, when I was doing the research while I was studying, I did not find much relevance with those two factors. But later on, at the present stage of my study, I believe that I should also include the other two factors. Product. The other two factors are brand association and the brand experience. These are the literature review. I've just showcased some of them. The research objectives and the hypothesis of the study. The objective of this paper is to explore the various pillars of brand equity leading to the development of strength and goodwill for a sustainable brand, further resulting in forming up of purchase intention. This study also tries to understand consumers' perspective towards these brands and what pushes them to purchase these brands. The hypotheses are: perceived brand quality has a positive effect on sustainable brand equity. Brand awareness has a positive effect on sustainable brand equity. So brand loyalty has a positive effect on sustainable brand equity. And sustainable brand equity has a positive effect on purchase intention. The methodology. A sample of 500 adults were taken to the on the basis of Generation X, Generation Y, and Generation Z. Over here, Generation X has been taken from 18 years to 25 years old. Generation Y from 26 years to 41 years, and Generation Z 42 years to 57 years. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the year bracket in which the people are aged. Yes, I've just realized that, ma'am. Yes, made in the reverse order. I'm so sorry, ma'am. I just realized that, ma'am. Method of sampling. Simple random sampling was used. It is a reliable method of obtaining information where every single member of a population is chosen randomly, merely by chance, and each individual has the same probability of being chosen to be part of a sample. The study evaluates 5 variables: perceived brand equity, brand awareness, brand loyalty, sustainable brand equity, and purchase intentions. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, before pulling out the questionnaire, I'll be asking one question, like if they fall into the category, because if a person, yes, ma'am, sure, ma'am, sure, ma'am. Scale. 5 tools were used for fulfilling the purpose of this study. Perceived brand quality scale by Breivik, brand loyalty scale developed by Chaudhary and Holbrook, purchase intention scale developed by Datta, Biswa and Grewal, brand equity scale developed by Gorius, Brady and Horowitz, brand awareness scale developed by Verhoek, Langworth and Donkers. Procedure. In order to fulfill the purpose of the study, 500 respondents were randomly chosen and were made to fill the questionnaire using online and offline method. At the beginning of the question, a consent form was signed by the respondents for ensuring voluntary participation, assuring them confidentiality of the results. After collection of the data from the respondents, the scoring will be done and analyzed using Pearson correlation in SPSS. The statistical analytical tools will be which use Pearson correlation in SPSS and MOS. And till here we have done this much. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, for a second. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Dr. Harmandeep Kaur. Dr. Harmandeep Kaur, are you there in the meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can we start with you?
Yes, ma'am.
So her topic is what drives Indian consumers' intention to purchase organic food, the role of consumer involvement as an additional construct of TPB. So we'll start with you, ma'am. You can start presenting, and we would like you to turn on the camera. We can see you.
Oh, ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, so topic of my presentation is what drives Indian consumers' intention to purchase organic food. The role of consumer involvement as an additional construct of TPB, that is theory of planned behavior. So the current study aims to determine the influence of consumer involvement on the intention to purchase organic food. It is studied along with the other constructs of the theory of planned behavior, that is attitude, perceived behavior control, and subjective norms. The study makes use of the theory of planned behavior to identify the factors that influence consumers' intention to purchase, and it uses a structured questionnaire to gather information from 200 respondents from Punjab, Haryana, and Chandigarh. Literature review. Organic food, although there is no standard definition of organic food, but food that meet organic standards, that doesn't utilize synthetic chemicals, satisfy the three key sustainable objectives of social, economic, and environment sustainability.
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
your slides are not moving.
I'm on second, that is literature review.
We can just see the first slide.
Ma'am, are they moving?
No.
Ma'am, should I present again? Share.
No, it's not about presenting again, but
Ma'am,
yes.
means I have to share it again so that because
Yeah, please. I'll do one thing. I'll share the PPT for you. All right.
yes.
you can remove your PPT. You have that?
Yeah, I have.
Please share. Just give us 1 second.
Okay.
Which one? This is in full mode.
Okay, so I'm on third slide. That is literature review.
All right, just give me 1 minute. Yes.
Perfect. You
may
can
proceed.
start.
So, for intention to purchase, we can say a person's intention to engage in a particular behavior is referred to as their behavioral intention. Then for attitude, a person's attitude is a reflection of their behavior belief, like it includes cognitive part, what they think about an objective may be like favorable or unfavorable. And then for subjective norms, it is related to societal pressures, like person believed to be present affect their decision. It is related to how society will see from the viewpoint of the society whether he should engage in that behavior or he should abstain from that behavior. And then for perceived behavioral control, it is people's assessment of their propensity to engage in a specific behavior, like whether they will be able to do that or not. That behavior, like whether they will be able to do that or not. That it is like whether they have access to that or they are capable to perform that particular behavior. Then consumer involvement. It is the degree of engagement and active processing a consumer engages in a response to a market stimuli can be used to characterize a consumer involvement, like how much involved or interested he or she is in that particular thing or behavior. Next slide, please. Methodology. So in this study, a structured questionnaire was used. The replies to questionnaire were scored on a 5-point Likert scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree. The reliability of Cronbach alpha was checked through all the constructs was checked through Cronbach alpha in SPSS. So all the values are above 0.7. That means all the items are reliable. Next slide. So these are the results. I have checked the relationship among the attitude and intention to purchase. The beta coefficient is 0.323. It is supported, and for subjective norms, again it is supported. So all the 4 constructs are they affect the intention to purchase. All the hypotheses were supported. The adjusted R square is 0.308, and these are the values, and p values below 0.05 for all the constructs. The next slide, please. So discussion, the finding shows that attitude plays a significant role in determining whether or not individuals intend to purchase organic food. This implied that people are more likely to purchase organic food if they have a favorable attitude towards intention to purchase. People's desire to buy is also influenced by their perceptions of how their reference group will view them if they purchase organic food. Therefore, it follows logically that when their reference groups favor organic food, people are more likely to purchase it. So all the results are in line with the previous results, which I have which are given in these papers in the literature review. of the earlier studies. Next slide, please. So the perceived behavior control also significantly affects intention to purchase because there are a lot of factors in context of organic food that inhibits consumer to purchase. Example, high price, lack of availability, consumer involvement. Then consumer involvement, which is the degree of engagement of consumers, also significantly affect the intention to purchase. The more involved consumer is better aware of the benefits of the organic food. They have more knowledge, more they are willing to purchase organic. Next slide, please. So conclusion, the purpose of this study was to ascertain how attitude, subjective norms, perceived behavior control, and consumer involvement affect participants' intention to purchase. It is found that all these variables have a considerable impact on purchase intention. Also, addition of consumer involvement in theory of planned behavior increases its explanatory power. Thank you. This is all from my side.
All right. So if the chairs have any questions, they can ask.
Hello, Harmandeep. I'm Dr. Ruchi Jain here. Harmandeep, are you there?
Miss Harmandeep Kaur, please unmute yourself and come on camera.
Are you able to hear me? Harmandeep?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Harmandeep. I want to understand, this is your PhD topic or you have taken it just for the sake of writing this paper?
Ma'am, actually it is a part of my PhD program. It is related to my objectives, and I have collected data for pilot study, and I have written this paper from that.
Okay, so I just want to understand that you are trying to add on consumer involvement as one of the element in TBP, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So don't you think that consumer involvement, which is basically engagement, depends upon what organic food we are talking about? Like if I'm looking for organic food for my toddler, so I'll be more involved. If I'm looking for organic food for myself, so I'll be probably less involved because I'm a grown-up female. So don't you think somehow for whom we are purchasing the organic food is also having some role to play in this consumer involvement?
Yes, ma'am. It is conditional or situational factor, but yes, it will definitely lead to more involvement because as you saw.
When we conduct such a research, don't you think that which organic food we are talking about, we have to specify that as well?
No, ma'am, I am taking in general all the food items, that is fruits, vegetables, milk.
Any kind of organic food. Any particular reason for that, like why you are being so generic?
Oh, ma'am, I think nowadays people are not consuming like at such a large scale. So I have included all these, like they have taken just like organic tea or organic fruits and vegetables. So I thought the scope of the for data collection, it should be sufficient. Otherwise, it is very difficult because still the market penetration for organic food is still less.
Okay. Thank you, Harmandeep.
Thank you.
No? So we'll continue with Dr. Payal Vasi. She's the only one left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please let me know if things are audible and clear there at that end. Shared my PPT on the full mode as well.
Why don't you share her PPT as
Hello.
well?
Ma'am, we can share your PPT if you want to, so that
I will try with the space in case some technical glitch appears. In that case, what I am being advised with the technical staff here is I'll turn off my video if the chair permits.
Out of time. I'm sorry to interrupt. I am Ruchika, session coordinator.
Okay, right, ma'am.
We are running out of time. We have to close and move on to the next. So,
right, ma'am.
Here you can present. It won't be a problem. We did with the previous one also.
Right, ma'am. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, sure thing, ma'am. Please unshare your screen. I'll be sharing my screen shortly.
Okay, fine.
And if the network is weak, we have no issues. You can keep your camera off while you're presenting.
Yeah, this is what is being recommended
Yes.
to
And once we have the question answer round, then you can switch on your
surely,
camera.
ma'am. Surely, surely.
So, ma'am, if I'm not wrong, you'll be continuing from research.
Yes.
methodology.
Yes. From this, if the session chair permits, from this objective slide.
Yes, okay, we can start.
Right, ma'am. So, in order to do the SLR, we opted in for a Prisma-based model in which we adopted in for two databases, and the databases are ProQuest and Scopus. Several strings were applied in order to understand what are the papers which are being published on these two platforms, especially when it comes to women entrepreneurship, self-employment, and sustainable development in the field of SMEs. So, several restrictions were applied, especially when it comes to the language. The language was restricted to English. The recent past decade papers were considered, that is 2012 to 2022. Post that, number of articles, conference papers, and journals were restricted as a mode of paper, and the total count was reduced from 518 to 423 papers. Moving further, we applied further restrictions where we applied in for relevant subject areas, which are in the graph. For example, women-owned business, sustainable development, small and medium enterprises, and so on. Post that, the type of publications which are publishing, especially in the field of women entrepreneurship, and the sustainable practices being adopted by MSCs were considered, and the total count was further reduced to 208 papers. Then, after reviewing the entire papers on the basis of titles, abstract, and full text, we actually shortlisted 109 papers which were directly related to the streams which were talking about women entrepreneurship, sustainable development, MSCs, and SMEs. Please, Vaibhav, can you shift the slide to the next? Yeah, so when it comes to the resultant discussions, rather than going in for the normal SLR presentations, we actually did it with the help of network analysis, in which word cloud for the author's keywords and the titles were framed. Word cloud for author keywords emerged as that lot of literature is available, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, sustainable development, business domains, and a lot of other activities. For example, primary and secondary based studies are being performed in rural areas. Post that, word cloud of titles were studied, in which we examined that more of the researches are being made country specifically or one particular subject specific, in which suppose there are certain presentations, certain research papers which are talking just about the gender empowerment. Today, when we are talking about gender equality, a lot of literature is being available and being engrossed just in order to prove the fact that gender, when it comes to women, is no less. Right? These kind of papers are already available in the literature, especially in the selected databases. Vaibhav, can you please move to the next slide? Our next presentation is in the form of the visual representation in the form of alluvial diagram, which talks about the journals and the countries which are talking and which are mentioning about the databases, especially related to the said domain, along with their impact factors. So if we talk about sustainability, it's a journal from Switzerland with the impact factor from 3.251. They have published the maximum number of articles in the in the recent decade, and they emerged as the highest contributor for this particular subject domain. Vaibhav, can you please move on to the next slide? Can you click once again? Yeah. Further, the network association in the form of co-authorship and with countries were designed. Here, when you talk about co-authorship with countries, a lot of people in the same country are doing researches. But in this particular domain, when you talk about sustainable development and when there are a lot of platforms has been provided where women has to women's role and importance right from dusk to dawn has been shown. A lot of countries are collaborating with each other, and in this representation several clusters came out. For example, if I quote about one cluster, United Kingdom along with United States and Canada emerged as one cluster where people are collaborating together, and they are not only talking about the local areas where the researches are going on, but also the funded projects are being talked about. Post that, bibliographic coupling of documents were considered. Here, Daigen SP and Gupta N, Agarwal S. These are the three authors who are largely being talked about when people are doing research in the said domain, and they have emerged as the highest contributor, and their bibliographic coupling is shown by and large. Vaibhav, please, can you shift on to the next slide? When you talk about the collaboration, when bibliographic coupling of the countries, these are the clusters that emerged. In totality, 4 clusters emerged, wherein United States, South Africa, United Kingdom, Canada, India, these are certain countries which are collectively talking about. When it comes to bibliographic coupling of the countries, here we are talking about where common grounds are being talked about. Let it be for the smaller SMEs registrations, or when it comes to the getting funding from the Sustainable Development Goals, or when you talk about raising the or showcasing and endorsing the status of a woman and her contributions towards the society as well as the economy by and large, especially when it comes to adoption of sustainable practices. Post that, we have bibliographic coupling of authors. Here again, the network shows that there are a lot of authors who are collectively collaborating, not only endorsing their work, they are coming up with the same similar kind of said domains. When I talk about said domains, it means if there is a one cluster, one stream where people are talking about rural areas, or they are talking about, say, there are a lot of studies in our sample which are talking about Malaysia, and then there are a lot of people in India also who are still proving themselves that, okay, the women has made a significant contribution when it comes to raising the level of economy to one step further. Next is, what are the various innovations and practices in sustainability when it comes to the women contribution? So these ways people are collaborating. When I talk about people, it means authors are collaborating with each other. Vaibhav, can you please? Yeah. So when I conclude about this thing, so when we come to the women entrepreneurship and her empowerment today in this century, also when we are talking about gender equality, when we are talking about the rights for the education of a female, there are a lot of examples which are telling and just proving their mettle when it comes to women contributing not only for her own status but also reflecting and empowering other women financially, making her more digitally educated for things. And when it comes to this topic of women entrepreneurship, it is not a country specific topic. Countries all across the world are coming and joining hands in order to showcase that what are the achievements which women have already done. And in this context, like Hungary, Malaysia, Canada, United States, United Kingdom, they are all talking about what women has proven till now, what they have collaborated till now. And just like other relevant researchers also, here also Daigan, Gupta, Agarwal, these are few authors who are collaborative and who are actually just going on with the literature, delving deep into the literature that is already available, so that particular literature should not just remain intact in the books, but it should come to the policy makers, it should come to the people who are researchers in the women entrepreneurial field, and they should administer that what has already been done. So several domains, different specific domains must be identified, and then the gaps could be identified, that what else is required. Is it just the digital education, financial education, or the family business domain that has to come into the picture? So several domains collectively come into the picture, and then they go on to this particular thing. So there will be no harm saying that women's contribution, especially when it comes to entrepreneurial governorship at small medium enterprises, it is way beyond than what generally people think. Thank you so much. This is all from my end, and I would request people on the chair and off the chair, if you have certain queries, please you may come across.
Dr. Payal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I would like to understand like the kind of qualitative study which you have done. It qualifies to be qualitative study, isn't it?
Sorry, ma'am?
Don't you think it qualifies to be the qualitative study?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, of course.
So you have used any software for it?
Yes, ma'am.
Which software?
Vosphere and Drawgraphs.
Okay. So
yes,
when you are talking about SMEs, don't you think SMEs are highly ecosystem dependent?
Like yes, ma'am, they are.
Yes, cannot be compared with the ecosystem for SMEs which they are having in US. So do you think coupling on the basis of country will make any sense for the future research, or is it going to contribute in the future research on the topic on the domain?
Yes, ma'am. I will mention about my opinion here, because here they will be able to identify that what is happening in the other parts of the country and what is not happening here. So when it comes to innovation, creativity, and women coming up as a most creative source for it, it is because one part is ecosystem, there are a lot of other things also. So what, how she can contribute and how she can get inspiration from this is what is happening, because it is not that always that when we consider that okay, this is something which is not possible, it is not about what is, but this is what we can create. So when it comes to coupling people from different domains, come up with
I have
several.
a small suggestion.
Yes, ma'am.
You have used Prisma
Yes,
for
ma'am.
taking up your systematic research.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
when we use Prisma, we also define some kind of parameters to be taken care of. So probably your research is a very good one. It's perfect if you would have defined some parameters, like now you're talking about creativity, innovation, but
Yes,
earlier
ma'am.
you have told that these are the parameters on which you are going to judge the women entrepreneurship or sustainable development. So
Right.
you can
I'll definitely
tune it
take your
further.
suggestions.
That's my suggestion.
Surely, ma'am, I'll definitely incorporate. And I once again apologize for the glitch and the wastage of time that has actually happened because of me. I'm so sorry for that. Anyone else with any other question? I'm open for that.
I don't think we are going to close the session very shortly.
Right, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Fine. Thank you so much.
So thank you to
Thank you,
everybody
Vaibhav.
who joined us today. And thank you for everybody who's joined us online as well. I hope it was a valuable session. Before coming to an end, I would like to invite Mrs. Ruchika Jaiswal ma'am to come and give a token of gratitude, and Ruchi Jain ma'am to give a token of gratitude to sir. Mama.
Okay, I would just like to give one closing remark. I would like to thank Sir for sparing some very valuable time. Dr. Ruchi Jain also for her excellent deliberations over the research paper, and Ananya and Vaibhav for being an excellent host. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, everyone. We look forward to organize such tracks and conferences in the future as well. Thank you so much. Ma'am, just a minute. Thank you so much.
चिराग भी कहीं नहीं जा रहा, वो भी कहीं जा रहा।